Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, wrestling fans of all ages, welcome to Wrestle Mats, the podcast where passion meets power slams. And every episode is a main event. Join your tag team champions of talk, Matt and Matt, as they grapple with the latest news, hottest debates, and legendary stories from the world of professional wrestling. From the roar of the crowd to the secrets behind the curtain, these two Matts bring the heat and the hard-hitting analysis every wrestling fan craves. So lace up your boots, hit the ropes, and get ready to tag in for a wild ride. This is Wrestle Mats.
All right, we are back for night numero 2 of SummerSlam. We have already talked night number 1. What? Now we're talking night number 2. What? All right, here we go, Matty. No more what chance for me. Actually, I'm starting to hate the what chance a little bit.
Can I get a hell yeah?
I'll give you a hell yeah. Yeah, that's fine. We can do hell yeah. Oh, Matty, night number 2. We are live. Facebook, YouTube, and X Wrestle Match. You can find us across all of those platforms. If you missed night number 1, you'll be able to go back and find that soon. Talked the entire card, and we dropped a bit of news for us here at Wrestle Match, Matty, in that we are going to be doing a live stream for WWE SummerSlam on both nights. You'll be able to catch us along for that, hopefully watching the entire card play out along with us. And, man, I'm looking forward to that, to be able to get our reactions. We have not sat down across from each other and watched a PLE live, so that, just for that entertainment alone, is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, like, as our podcast has grown, we've kind of synced up with we kind of agree on a lot of things. So it's kind of funny. It'll be fun to watch it and just see what sticks out for both of us, on this big 2 nights.
2 nights. SummerSlam set to take place at MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey, Shadows of New York. Start time, 6 o'clock Eastern over on the Cox. So join WWE there. Join WrestleMats wherever you might find us across the board there. All right, Matty, no shenanigans getting into night 2. We are just jumping right into this thing. And let's start, Matty, with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in a steel cage match for the United States Championship. I can tell you, I don't ever want to be finding myself across from Jacob Fatu, much less, Matty, in a steel freaking cage. He is going to be absolutely terrifying in this match. But as we note here, it's a steel cage. It's not Hell in a Cell. So there could be some shenanigans at play there with the MFTs. So what do you think about this one?
Yeah, man, this is going to be fun. I love the old school traditional steel cage. It's going to be violent. It's going to be ugly. We're talking about 2 Samoans that have been cooking with Crisco all summer. And like you said, MFT, what role are they going to play? Are we going to see Fatu become a U.S. champ again? Or is Solo going to keep cooking like he has been all summer?
That's so difficult. It really is so difficult because Jacob Fatu, when you look at him, it's probably like in terms of just people that you don't want to be staring down across the ring from you. It's like Fatu, Breaker, McIntyre, those sorts of guys. And it's hard to see Fatu losing clean. And I think that's kind of the key point here is that kind of, in a steel cage match, if MFTs find their way in, which I think is pretty likely in this scenario, then there's really no rules. Things just kind of go out the window. And Solo, for as tough as he was as a part of the bloodline, he's playing this cowardly heel a little bit as the leader of MFT. So I think he finds a cowardly sort of way to wrap this up. And I think he hangs on to the U.S. title.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he retains. MFT's involved. And I think, honestly, you can either keep this going with Fatu or you can kind of move him up to that next tier, maybe have him challenging for the next title. There's a lot of ways you can go. But I think protecting Solo here and letting him hold on to the belt is the right move.
I agree. That would be fascinating to me if somehow they were to say, all right, it's on to bigger things for Solo Sikoa. And if the bigger thing is Cody Rhodes or John Cena, that is,
Ooh.
whoa, baby. All right, you could sign me up for that. So as much as I would like to see Solo as a champ, sign me up for a bigger feud there, Maddie. I just realized here on night number 2, Sunday, every single match, Maddie, is for a championship title. So we are literally talking championships on every single match here. And that's going to screw with my head the entire time, is how many title changes are too many title changes. But I think Solo hangs on to that. So we got one retaining to start us off here. Maddie, your SummerSlam Rewind match of the week is a throwback to the TLC at SummerSlam 2000 with the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge, and Christian for those tag team titles. You'll be able to find that on our YouTube page coming up this week. And we have kind of the next installation of a TLC match here at this edition of SummerSlam with the Wyatt Six coming in as champions against Andrade and Rey Fenix, the Street Profits, the Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium DIY. My goodness, that's a mouthful. So, Maddie, as soon as I watched that match, the throwback match, that was only 3 teams. This is going to be absolute fucking chaos. I don't know what to make of this match, but I think it's going to be insane.
Yeah, chaos. That's what I'm expecting. I could definitely see this one opening the night. Just all the
that's a great opener.
Yeah, just all the craziness. And then you got, Wyatts are finally getting a little momentum.
Mm-hmm.
This could be the title. I mean, I feel like if there's a hot potato of a belt, it's these tag straps.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you can make a case for all these teams, really. So I have no idea how to book this.
Well, let's just compare it here while we're on the subject of that TLC match from SummerSlam 2000. Now, you and I are going to talk about it for kind of really the first time later on when we're making that content for this week. But, no spoilers really here between the two of us. That match is absolutely all gas, no brakes, nonstop.
Right.
It's a little bit of lightning in the bottle in the sense that they hit all of those spots throughout that match pretty damn perfectly. I think that's going to be hard for 6 teams to do here. There's going to be, I don't know where you put everybody. I really don't, because when you had everything going on in the ring and the match with 3 teams, the ring looked pretty full. Now you got double the amount of people. You can obviously take it outside and this, that, and the other, but I think it's going to be chaotic. But when you look at the participants that we have that can do what they can do between the members of Fraxium, Andrade and Rey Fenix, obviously Montez Ford is known as a bit of a high flyer. All of these guys in their own right, a little bit of risk takers. I think that's my favorite call in quite some time. Have this match open the night up, have that chaos, kind of let them set the bar. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, and it seems like they've been trying to build Fraxium for a while now. So maybe this is a good night to showcase those guys in this matchup. Like you said, if we can open the night with those guys, kind of change of titles, that would be sweet. I just feel like there's so many established teams here that I don't think I think that's the team you kind of, if you're not going to keep it on the Wyatts, that's the team you're going to build up, right? Fraxium.
I'm going to go Andrade and Rey Fenix.
Whoa! I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I think it's finally Andrade's time. It's been a minute. They've been wandering around looking for kind of his place on the roster. I think they stumbled into something with him and Rey Fenix. I really, really do. So to me, that's the duo. If you're going to highlight, I think they can both do and utilize, the ladders specifically in this match to kind of create some high spot moments. I think that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah, it's an interesting. We're talking SummerSlam Night 2 now, and it's starting to kind of fall into place. The big names missing, like Penta, LA Knight, Judgment Day with Balor and JD. It's some of these big time guys we're not getting to see. It's going to be interesting to see, like this one's definitely worth being on here. But yeah, if Phoenix and Andrade win, that's big.
Well, you and I were kind of talking about WWE Unreal as a part of our quick count topic with the first show. So if you missed that, go back and check out, the night one preview. But Triple H was kind of quoted as saying something to the effect of like that run between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania is like the WWE playoffs, and only the top,
Right.
only the top players make it. And he's kind of taken that approach really though across PLEs since he's really been in charge, because we've seen it in that a lot of the PLEs that aren't the Rumble, that aren't SummerSlam, that aren't WrestleMania, they have like 4 or 5 matches, and if you don't make it, you don't make it. And it
Right.
kind of happened here with SummerSlam too. You're talking about a lot of key players, and they just didn't make it. So, do you think there was a place, just as a little bit of a side quest before we hit our next match? Do you think there was a place for an LA Knight, for a Penta, for Balor and McDonough, or is it better left to kind of like, okay, you get these 6 matches, they get their time, and it is what it is?
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of matches. Just us covering these and kind of diving into. There's a lot of action, and less has been more, right? So far
I
on
think
these
so.
other
Yeah.
PLEs. So I don't think it hurts, but it's just kind of weird. That's all. I mean, I think it's just more or less Triple H's creative. It's different than what Vince did. Vince would fucking stack these cards with so many matches. Some of them didn't even matter. So I think if you're going
Yeah.
that route, then I definitely prefer this.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And I think they're kind of trying to make it a thing with Bayley. We saw her on WWE Monday Night Raw kind of in a backstage interview saying like, look, I didn't make WrestleMania. I lost here. I lost there. I don't have a title match. Now I'm off SummerSlam. And she's just kind of on the down and outs. And we'll just move it right into that match that maybe she feels like she should have been a part of. And Becky Lynch in the Intercontinental Championship against Lyra Valkyria. So you have to wonder, Maddie, I honestly don't know what's going on with Bayley's character and where that plays a role, or if it plays a role because she just tried to team back up with Lyra Valkyria to, win the women's tag team titles, which was just kind of strange and odd thrown in there on a Monday Night Raw. But now you have this match with Becky and Lyra, which you and I have said has to be like the blowout. Like this has to be the end of this feud one way or the other here. So this one, the stipulation is that if Lyra Valkyria loses, she can no longer challenge Becky Lynch, thank Christ, for this title. Again, there's no countouts, no disqualification. So kind of leads you to, down that path. Are there some shenanigans? Does Bayley, take a turn here and interfere in this match?
I think maybe the next step in feuds would be to have Becky and Bayley feud. You've kind of pivot. Lyra gets a loss here, or whatever. Lyra, to me, I see Lyra going on. This feud has elevated her, and obviously WWE's pushing her. It's done wonders for her as a performer. Mic work a little shaky still, but she's getting there. But to me, the next feud for Becky would be to jump in with Bayley. I don't know if that's what they're planning. With Bayley, we don't know, right? We just don't know what.
I don't know. I don't have a read on. I don't have a read on Bayley's character and what's going on there. So if she does show up in this match, and we're seeing that the next logical step is for her to take on Becky Lynch. Well, it's kind of odd because then she has to interfere with Lyra, and that's going to pivot Bayley as a little bit of a heel. Obviously, Becky is already there, so I don't know how that works out. I think my gut reaction says no matter what, Bayley or no Bayley, that Becky's keeping this title.
Yeah, I think everybody's kind of ready to see Becky retain here and go into her next feud. I don't think it hurts Lyra by losing here. I think it almost freshens up her character to see her feud with somebody. So to me, this is just, it's worked, but it's getting old,
Yeah, agreed. It served its purpose. It's done what it's needed to do. Becky's got to move on to other things. Lyra's got to move on to other things. This is one title that's not going anywhere here on night number 2. Dominic Mysterio will flip to the men's Intercontinental Championship match, taking on AJ Styles. This has been my favorite build, my personal favorite build of SummerSlam right here, with AJ just kind of stalking Dom backstage and the different characters, the different get-ups, all the little mind games that AJ has been playing. Even the match last night on WWE Monday Night Raw, where AJ teamed up with the Kabuki Warriors against Judgment Day there, that was a lot of fun. I have loved this feud. So I don't know if I want it to end, man. That's the hard part about this. Like, I feel like AJ is due for a big win, could be getting this title, but I love this feud so much that I don't want it to end.
Dude, just Dom with the doctor's notes. AJ Styles being just pure comedy, something we don't really ever get to see from him.
Like, it was fun.
And then Dom's in-ring work is, it's upped his game quite a bit. I could just tell on Raw, like, he's getting better and better every time I see him. So I'm excited to see this match from a, technical spot, and then also from the drama of like how this one ends. It's going to be fun.
I think Dom a little bit has taken both from Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan with the way that he sells. I think he bumps incredibly well. So he's not always like seen as like the biggest offensive threat, but he's damn well going to make his opponent look really, really good. AJ Styles, in a lot of ways, to me, Maddie, is kind of on that Sami Zayn tier where he's like really trying to get back in the fold and win a championship. Almost the CM Punk tier on night number 1. You ran down the amount of times that CM Punk has lost, on PLEs since his comeback, basically every single PLE. And AJ Styles, to me, is due for a win. I kind of am starting to get myself in the boat where maybe this is where Judgment Day gets a little bit frayed and starts to lose their gold. And then what happens, Maddie, if on Monday night Dom shows up with no title, if Raquel and Roxanne show up with no title, and Finn, who's kind of been, just antagonizing the entire group, is the only one there, him and JD, left with titles. I think that maybe creates a little bit of an interesting dynamic. So for that, I think AJ Styles takes the title here.
Yeah, I don't think it hurts Dom to not have the title. He's just a weekly part of your programming. Doesn't matter what he does, it's fire. But like you said, this elevates AJ Styles to have the IC title. He's going to be defending that, putting on, just his equity goes through the roof if he wins this match. So I'm right there with you. Give me AJ Styles for the win. And then, like I said, Dom's just going to keep doing what he does every week. And that's just, over delivering.
If they do keep it on Dom, I do understand why, if he's going to go like make some appearances in AAA and that sort of thing. So you do have to think about that aspect of it a little bit, but I think he could go make his appearances and be completely fine in AAA. And speaking of AAA, Matty, I don't know if you saw over since the last time we spoke, El Grande Americano making his appearances. We got to talk that for just 1 second. That character's a lot of damn fun right now. I don't know what your thoughts on it are, because you and I actually haven't talked about it at all, but have you seen the footage?
Yeah, and who is dressed up as him? I remembered Kaiser. And I forgot. No, but Kaiser. Then a new Grande.
The new one is Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne.
That's right. Yeah, just like what the hell is going on? But it's great for the the Lucha Libre style, the AAA. I think it's a great connection. And then, what are we going to do when we have like 3 Grande Americanas?
Oh, it's got to be a stable. It's got to be a stable. Give me a stable.
Oh, my God.
But I think I just want to shout out Ludwig Kaiser in all seriousness real quick with this gimmick, because I think he's taken it and run with it. I think it was fun when it was Chad Gable. But, dude, Ludwig going like out of the way to like cut promos in Spanish and this and that, I think he's leveled up the character. So I'm glad they I didn't know what to think about Ludwig with that at first, but it's fun. I can't wait to see that on a PLE here soon. All right, let's get in back to SummerSlam here. We got Naomi for the first time defending her Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Maddie, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, as we saw just as recently on WWE Monday Night Raw, still kind of, chirping at each other. They were a part of an 8-woman tag team match, but Io let Rhea know that she's still never beaten her and never will. Rhea is thinking this is her time, and then Naomi is just being Naomi. Is just being so good right now, man. So This one I think is going to be an interesting dynamic. I think all of these ladies work well together. What's your beat on this one?
It's tough, man, because we've seen a lot of Sky and Ripley. So how do you continue this feud or move it on? What's the end goal of this match? Like, I think Naomi's the one that benefits the most. But then what do you do with Rhea and Sky after this match? So it's just, I don't know. I know that I want Naomi to win. I think she's going to win. I wouldn't be surprised if Rhea got the win here. But to me, it's just kind of like booking wise, I don't know what's the next step after this match? That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah. So my biggest worry is I misspoke on night one and caught myself, but I'll bring it up here on night number 2 is that waiting in the wings of whoever wins this match is going to be Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I don't think that match particularly does anyone any amount of favors because Stephanie Vaquer is going to be a heavy favorite once it gets to Clash in Paris. Stephanie Vaquer is kind of at that point where can you have her keep losing or coming up short in these big matches? Now, luckily for Stephanie, it's been like, a 6-person match or a tag match or something like that. So she's not really directly taking a lot of losses, but I think it just sets up an interesting dynamic for whoever wins here. But I think that Io and Rhea don't need the title to tell their story. I think they can continue on after this. I think they can kind of get in each other's way and be the reason that each other does not win the title here. And then they can settle out that feud elsewhere. And then Naomi keeps her title.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just keep thinking about how loaded the women's roster is.
Oh, it's crazy.
Especially up top. Like, I'm like, man, where are you putting all these like characters? There's so much and then like you said, Stephanie Vaquer and Naomi, dude, I'm all for that at the next PLE.
I mean, they have so much talent in the women's division right now that before we hopped onto the live stream, I saw that Nia Jax had popped into NXT. And I think NXT is like a great place for Nia Jax to kind of go be showcased right now, especially if she's not going to be used as much on the main roster. And frankly, the main roster has so much talent that you could almost run it back down to NXT and have like a third brand just stacked. I mean, NXT in its own right is stacked right now. So yeah, the depth of the women's roster in particular, is hey, all right. We are on show number 2 if my voice is cracking like that. But the depth of the women's roster is particularly impressive right now. All right, Maddie, main event of the weekend, your WWE Undisputed Champion, number 17, never seen before, John Cena against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, one more time, in which I have to think it is their final battle amongst John Cena's retirement tour. Do you think?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. So I'm curious how all this plays out, just like you, man. Like, this is a street fight now.
Mm-hmm.
Do we get what are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes? Let's just get there. Like, what does this match need to be for him? Does he need to get the win here? Does he need to lose? Does he need to turn heel? Can he stay face? Like, before we get to Cena, because we know he's not long, what is the perfect recipe for you for Cody Rhodes right here?
Well, first off, I think there's more conspiracy theories about this particular match than maybe any other match that we've seen, including their WrestleMania match, including the conspiracy theories that date all the way back to Cody facing Roman both times. I mean, if you go online and you just read every single theory about, this particular match, your head's just going to spin in a million different directions. So with that being the case, I just off the cuff here, I want to say that I don't think that there's going to be any show of The Rock. I certainly don't think with the reports that have kind of come by, unless they're just somehow a work, that there's going to be any show of Travis Scott either. That relationship seems to have soured for now. And so that kind of if we just leave it at a heads up, even though it is a street fight, and I do anticipate some sort of shenanigans, I don't know where it's coming from just yet. But we've already seen the story, Maddie, where Cody Rhodes fails and has to work his way back to the to the top of the mountain. And he's arguably done it again to get here to this feud with John Cena. So are we going to tell that story again? Are we going to get a three-peat in this John Cena retirement tour? I really, really don't think so. So I've been on the side since John Cena won, really since he turned heel, that he was going to keep the title all the way up until his retirement match. And I think I'm going to soften on that. I think there's a real chance for Cody Rhodes to go over here.
Okay. So here's where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
I think Cody's a great face. I still think he's the face of the company. Like I'm not soured I don't think he's gotten stale. I think they do a great job of how they showcase him as the quarterback, and he delivers in every. I'm a fan. So I don't necessarily think a heel turn is needed at this point in time for Cody Rhodes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of speculation about that, and I do think that oh man, with Cody, this is kind of going back to the conversation last week. Don't put the cart in front of the horse, right? Like, don't let this be your expectation for the weekend. I don't think it is my overall expectation for the weekend for Cody Rhodes to turn. But I do think there's a pathway for that to happen. And the pathway that I see is that Cody is having that internal struggle because he knows if he doesn't level up, he knows that if he doesn't do something kind of excessive, that he's not going to get past John Cena. He already knows what that's like. He already knows the lengths that John is willing to go to keep that title right here during his retirement tour. So the path that I see is they've had the match that they have. Cody Rhodes has that opportunity to use the WWE Championship a la John Cena, the way that he's done to keep it so many times here throughout this run. And then finally breaking down and deciding, you know what? I got to use it. I got to win. This is my shot. So does that particular instance make Cody Rhodes heel? I don't know. You know what I mean? I think it depends on how they play it off.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Like, I don't see. I understand the concept that he has to overcome John Cena,
right?
And he has to kick it in gear somehow. I just don't know. I just don't know if a double turn. If I'm expecting a double turn, I just don't know if I necessarily need a heel Cody Rhodes at this point. Like, I think you can make a case for Cena to lose clean by Cody at this point. I just don't know. It's just a very intriguing match. And like you said, the street fight aspect of it, like you're going to get
That's
dirty.
what's throwing me.
Does Cena bleed? Does Cody bleed? Like, this could be a brawl. This could be both these guys doing, I don't know. Maybe Cody just snaps. Like, that would be kind of cool,
Yeah. Good Lord, dude. Did you see Cody Rhodes' face after Elimination Chamber as a part of Unreal?
Yeah. Crazy.
Good grief, man. I mean, it looked like he'd been in a bar fight. It was that was unreal. No fun. Yeah, there's so many avenues to go. Is it the double turn that everybody is expecting? I think so often with WWE, there's so much access to fandom these days, right? Whether it's X, whether it's all these different social media platforms, YouTube, like everybody has a way to be able to chime in, connect, run theories past each other. And so occasionally you have one that gets legs, right? And kind of perpetuates across the internet. And then that kind of becomes the expectation. And so right now, if I had to pick one that's kind of become the expectation, it is the Cody Rhodes heel turn. So let's play devil's advocate here for a minute, Maddie, before we get to a winner of this match. If Cody Rhodes is to turn heel in this match, does he do it on his own?
Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm not expecting The Rock. So that's the only
I'm
one
not
that
either.
So that would be the only one that would make sense for it. But to me, it's like,
I don't think it makes sense though.
I just don't see it. Like, I just don't think we're there, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just don't see he's not vanilla enough that he's gotten old, in my opinion.
Are you talking about Cody?
Yeah, I just think he can add that second
Okay.
level of just being a little more aggressive, kind of like he
Okay.
did with Kevin Owens. I mean, dude, he did the same thing with
Right.
Kevin Owens. So why not just put, Cena through hell a little bit more aggressive? Maybe make Cena bleed even, like something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, if you can kind of get that Cody that kicks it into another gear, that was the Rumble match, right, with him and Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get that kind of aggression out of Cody, where he had to put KO through the ladder there to kind of end that match and go win that match, I can see that. And if that's the case, and we get that sort of aggression, that different side of Cody that we don't always get, then there's really no need for the heel turn.
Right.
But if the heel turn were to occur, like, I don't know if Cody can just you saw it with Rock and Hogan, right? And basically in the middle of their match, and it really just happened so organically that it was fine and it worked out beautifully. And we talked about it again with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, but you had Dominic Mysterio there as a little bit of a catalyst to drive that and make it happen. I don't know if there's a specific way yet right now for John Cena and Cody Rhodes to just get there organically. And at the same time, I don't know who would be the catalyst to kind of help that out. And if that's the case, then you got to pick somebody, right, for that to occur. And I have no idea what the name is. It's not The Rock. It's not Travis Scott. I just don't know who it is at this point for Cody Rhodes to make that heel turn actually work.
Yeah, that's me. I just don't see turning heel. Like I think you can get the John Cena sympathy
Uh-huh.
regardless. If he takes the L here, I think the crowd's still going to cheer him, and that might,
Oh, for
we
sure.
see. I don't think that it. I just don't think it's needed, man. Like I think you can have both flavors of the ice cream here. You can have a double turn where Cena turns face, and I think you can get a little more aggression out of Cody Rhodes in the process.
Ooh, there's a little bit of an interesting one, and then we'll choose a winner here. Can we just get a face turn out of Cena with him losing
Yeah, I think that's very possible. I think
and
if
keeping
he gets
Cody face as well?
yeah, I think you can get a loss here, and I think the crowd's going to give Cena a standing ovation regardless.
Mhm.
I mean, you
Mhm.
might see Cody Rhodes help Cena up after he beats him down, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think we all end SummerSlam on a high note that way.
Okay, that's interesting because I don't think that's been floated like at all, basically, not in anything that I've seen, and I think that's a viable path. And then you got John Cena kind of ending his or not ending his retirement tour, but going into the back half of this retirement tour with kind of just a different adoration of John Cena.
Yeah,
So I think that's a completely viable path there. All right, Maddie, who you got?
yeah, I think it's going to end with maybe Cena raising Cody Rhodes' hand at the end of the night. So give me
Mm,
Cody Rhodes as your new WWE champion.
I'm right there with you because I don't know where Cody Rhodes goes. I think you're just retelling a story that's already been told if Cody doesn't win here. And so for that reason, yeah, man, I think Cody's got to win, and I think that kind of completes their series. And then you'll have John Cena kind of freed up on the back half of his run to go after, a number of different folks, and maybe that is where we start getting more and more matches with John Cena with his instead of just the appearances, right? He'll show up. Maybe he has an open challenge, and that's just kind of the back half of his retirement tour. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It's just an open challenge. You want some of John Cena? Come get it because this is your last chance.
Well, and there you go. Like, how many different ways can we book John Cena? If he loses
Oh,
here,
I think a
you
million.
get, he goes out and he gives his speech saying, I did what I could, and then Breaker interrupts. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
how awesome would
yeah. Hell
that
yeah.
be? Like, so much. I think there's so much, and if not that, Cody Rhodes gets the win and Breaker shows up. I mean, there's so many different ways to
Yeah.
level up both these guys here. I think Cody winning the championship though does a lot for WWE, and I think making Cena face does a lot for WWE.
Yeah, and I think kind of the last thing that I'll say is they did do a little bit of rebranding, right? with Roman Reigns and OTC1. And then if you throw it back to kind of the, they've been calling Cody Rhodes QB1. So maybe they have a trilogy there at WrestleMania at some point down the line. And if Cody Rhodes were to win here at SummerSlam, they both go off and do the movie. They come back, they have the whole thing. And maybe that is where you get the completion of that trilogy of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. All right, Matty, that wraps us up for both nights of SummerSlam. Any fettering thoughts that are there rolling around the dome, or anything you got left about SummerSlam?
Nah, man, I think it's going to be fun. Just like you said, there's all these titles are up for grabs. The WWE's good about doing surprises, so we're going to get a few surprises. We're not quite sure where we're going to get them, but you know what's going to be fun about it? We'll be watching it together with the WWE Universe on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. So we'll be able to just kind of deep dive all this while it's happening. I'm excited, dude.
Smooth operator, smooth transition there from Matty Reiser. Yeah, join us there at that watch along across the week building up to SummerSlam as well. We're going to have some match reviews, some more SummerSlam content. You'll be able to find that across the board. Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook, wherever you can type in WrestleMats and find us. That content is going to be there. He's Matty Reiser. I'm Matt Kelly. We are WrestleMats. We'll see you next time.